Dear friends, love is not just about sweet words and warm embraces. Beneath the surface, men sometimes unconsciously, sometimes intentionally will always set up a series of tests. They want to know if the woman in front of them is truly strong, if she can maintain her value and integrity, or if she will easily waver and lose herself for the sake of love. These tests are never announced. They arrive in silence, under pressure, through agonizing waiting periods, in moments where respect is challenged, in the painful moments of letting go, and ultimately, in your knowledge of your own self-worth. If you pass them, you not only keep the love, but more importantly, you keep yourself. You become a woman whom any man must respect. A woman who is free, radiant, and full of pride. So, let's embark on a journey together to discover the 6 tests men will set in a relationship, so that starting today, you will never fear being challenged and will always wear your own crown high. Test 1. The silence test. When he withdraws, what do you do? In love, there is a moment most women have experienced when the man suddenly goes silent, texts become infrequent, calls dwindle, and the attention is no longer steady. That feeling is like listening to a beautiful melody when someone abruptly switches it off, leaving you alone in a quiet room. That is no coincidence. It is a test, a challenge to see if you can truly maintain your value and composure. When a man goes silent, the natural instinct for many women is to panic. A barrage of questions floods their mind. What did I do wrong? Is he angry? Does he not want to be with me anymore? Is he seeing someone else? These thoughts make us want to text constantly, call incessantly, and find every way to fill the void. But the more we do that, the more we unknowingly lose our calmness and our inherent confident aura. And in the man's eyes, you have revealed a weakness. You cannot stand firm without his attention. Conversely, a woman who remains composed in silence exudes a powerful attraction. Imagine standing on a stage, the light shining on you, and the entire audience silently watching. You have 2 choices. 1. Panic and try every trick to fill the stillness. Or 2. Take a deep breath, stand your ground, and let the silence amplify your presence. Silence, if you know how to wield it, is no longer a threat, but a weapon. Men go silent to see if you can maintain your own rhythm of life. If you can keep smiling, continue to take care of yourself, and keep living fully without needing their validation. They want to know you confidently affirm, I was a complete person before you, and I remain a complete person even when you pull back. When you achieve this, you not only pass the test, but also force him to look at you with different eyes, the eyes of respect. Imagine an ocean wave. Sometimes it surges to the shore, and sometimes it retreats far out to sea. If you desperately chase the wave every time it leaves, you will become exhausted and drown. The secret is to stand firm on the sand and let the wave return on its own, and when it does, it will crash back with greater intensity. Men are the same. They retreat to test your stability. And only when you are stable will they return with genuine respect. Yes, silence can sometimes make your heart ache and your mind race. But remember, silence is not the enemy. Silence is the mirror that reflects your true worth. If you hold on to your confidence, continuing to shine in that quiet space, you prove one vital thing. I don't need anyone to define my value. I know who I am. And that is how you pass the silence test with pride. Test 2. The pressure test. When he challenges your boundaries. If silence is how a man tests your composure, then pressure is the test to see if you can hold on to your values and life principles. Pressure here doesn't always come as shouting or blatant demands. It arrives in subtle, tiny ways that you might not even realize are a test. One day, he might say, I don't like you hanging out with that friend. Don't see her anymore. Another day, he might casually comment, that outfit is a bit much. Change into something else. Or it might simply be a look, a sigh, a frown when you are being authentically yourself. All these seemingly harmless things are, in fact, pressure. It's his way of asking, will you hold on to your identity, or will you gradually give in? Many women, wanting to please their partner or keep the peace, easily concede it's okay to compromise a little. But that little compromise, if repeated, becomes a large part of you. Eventually, you look in the mirror and no longer recognize yourself. You have traded your freedom and internal light for his comfort. The result is that he doesn't respect you more. Instead, he gets used to you constantly bending to fit his desires. Imagine two materials, steel and plastic. Steel is rigid and firm, used to build bridges and skyscrapers because it is durable and hard to bend. Plastic, conversely, is soft, easily warped, and easily molded into any shape. In love, do you want to be steel or plastic? A woman who is solid like steel commands a man's respect and caution. He understands that you can love, but you will never lose yourself. For that love, if you are like plastic, easily bending under every pressure, you will slowly become a distorted version of yourself. Pressure in love isn't meant to cause you suffering. It's meant to highlight one thing. Do you dare to keep your boundaries? A boundary is a declaration of your personal value. When you dare to say, darling, I love you, but I will not lose myself for anyone. That is not being rigid. That is pride. That is the voice affirming that you deserve to be respected. A diamond is formed from millions of years of pressure deep within the earth. But what is its secret? It doesn't turn into coal or get distorted. It maintains its firmness and becomes more radiant. You are the same. Pressure from a man, if you know how to handle it, will not break you, but will make you shine brighter, stronger, and more captivating than ever. So, when he tests you with pressure, remember, true love does not demand that you give up yourself. Instead, it encourages you to live more fully. If he truly loves you, he will adjust to fit you, not pull you down to fit him. And only when you hold your boundaries will you pass the pressure test. Ensuring your love is a space where you both respect and grow together. Test 3. The patience test, when the relationship moves slower than expected. In love, women often desire clarity, a relationship with a timeline, progress, and concrete commitment. But men are different. They often move slower, sometimes due to personality, sometimes because of work or career, or simply because they are not ready for a long-term commitment. And that is the patience test almost every woman must face. He may love you, care for you, and even dream of a future with you. But when it comes to deeper commitment, marriage, cohabitation, or starting a family, he hesitates. In that moment, your heart raises so many questions. Is he really serious? Am I wasting my time? Am I just a temporary option? These doubts are what cause women to panic and easily make mistakes. Many, due to their impatience, start relentlessly pushing, questioning, and forcing. When will you marry me? Are you going to be serious? If you're not sure, I'll leave now. However, the more you push, the more the man retreats. He feels cornered, loses his sense of freedom, and his defensive instinct will make him delay even more. Unintentionally, your eagerness becomes a barrier to the very love you desire. Conversely, a woman with self-possession understands that patience is not about waiting in vain, but about knowing how to live while waiting. This means that instead of just sitting there counting the days, you continue to live your own life. You still take care of yourself, advance your career, travel, learn new things, and expand your inner world. You continue to shine whether he is delayed or not. When a man sees you can be patient and still move forward, he truly feels the positive pressure. If I don't quickly step up with her, I will lose her. Imagine you are at a train station and his train is late. You can choose to sit there, frustrated, blaming him and watching the clock every minute. Or you can use that time to read, learn something new, and enjoy life. If the train arrives, you have gained knowledge and joy. If it doesn't, you still haven't lost the value of those experiences. That is the image of wise patience. However, patience does not mean waiting indefinitely. It must be accompanied by clear boundaries and standards. If his hesitation drags on without any sign of change, you need to be clear-headed enough to walk away. Because patience does not equal irrational sacrifice, true patience is giving love a chance to grow, but not losing yourself in the process. A woman who is patient in the right way will always earn a man's respect. Because she doesn't make noise, she doesn't cling, and she doesn't pressure him. She lives fully, and that very composure makes the man worrying. If I don't take action, someone else will realize her worth before I do. So, the patience test is not easy. It challenges your composure, confidence, and wisdom. But if you pass, you win twice. Either you gain the man who cherishes you, or you free yourself to find the man who is already ready. In both outcomes, you are the winner. Test 4, the respect test. When he wants to know what you will accept. In love, respect is the foundation. Without it, love easily crumbles, no matter how intense it was initially. A man, whether intentionally or not, will always test you in this aspect. He wants to know how far you will let him go and what you will accept before you stand up for your value. That is the respect test. This challenge often doesn't start with big issues. It comes in the smallest of things: a joke that stings, a forgotten promise, a harsh word when he's angry, or when he disregards your feelings. In that moment, you have two choices: silently let it slide to keep the peace, or firmly speak up to set a boundary. That choice will shape how he treats you in the future. Many women think ignoring it once won't hurt, but when you ignore it once, you have inadvertently allowed the second time to happen. Then comes the third and fourth, and those small things turn into a habit. A shout becomes normal, an empty promise becomes easy, and you realize you are living in a relationship full of cracks simply because you didn't dare to set a limit from the start. Conversely, if from the very first moment you dare to say, "I don't accept you speaking to me that way. I deserve to be heard and respected," you have sent a clear message. A man who truly loves you will adjust, because he understands that love is not a privilege to belittle or disrespect. If he doesn't adjust and continues to trample on you, then you realize sooner that he is not the one worthy of accompanying you. Imagine you are a priceless painting in a museum. People are not allowed to casually touch it, not because the painting is fragile, but because it is too valuable. A man will treat you the same way if you place yourself in the correct position of being treasured and respected. But if you belittle yourself and accept being dismissed, don't be surprised when he shows contempt, because a man only respects a woman who respects herself. Respect does not mean you demand he be perfect. It simply means that despite disagreements, he must maintain polite behavior. Despite anger, he is not allowed to insult you. Despite tiredness, he still needs to keep his promises. And you, as his partner, have the right to demand that. Don't be afraid to be demanding, because leniency regarding respect only leads to contempt. The important thing to remember is, respect cannot be begged for or pleaded for. It only comes when you set a standard and firmly defend that standard. When you say, "I deserve to be treated kindly," and act according to that statement, the man will understand that his love must come with respect, and if he cannot do that, then losing you is inevitable. The respect test is not just a test of the relationship, but a test for you. Do you truly cherish yourself, or are you letting love blur your value? If you pass, you not only gain respect from the man, but more importantly, you maintain the pride of a woman who knows her worth. Test 5, the letting go test, when love is no longer deserving. Of all the tests men set, perhaps the hardest for a woman is the letting go test. Because letting go does not mean stopping love. Letting go is not being indifferent or cold. On the contrary, letting go in love is one of the bravest and most powerful actions a woman can take for herself. Men sometimes unconsciously test you by seeing if you dare to leave. They want to know, will she continue to accept it if I behave worse? Will she stay even if I am indifferent? Will she cling, beg, or will she choose to walk away? Your reaction in this moment will speak volumes about the self-worth you hold. Many women, because of deep love, fear of loneliness, or the belief that if they are patient, he will change, cling endlessly to a relationship that no longer holds respect or worth. However, what they fail to realize is that the more they cling, the more the man shows contempt. To him, you have shown that your love is not based on standards, but merely on his presence, whether he brings you joy or pain. In contrast, a woman who knows how to let go when necessary leaves a man stunned, because he is used to you being angry, crying, or blaming him, but he is not used to your silence and your proud departure. It is when you walk away in calmness that he truly realizes, she genuinely doesn't need me. She loves, but she loves herself more. And that is the moment you shift the balance of power in the relationship. Letting go does not mean your heart won't hurt. In fact, that is when you hurt the most, because you are leaving someone you were connected to, someone you had high hopes for. But letting go is when you are mature enough to understand that love cannot exist without appreciation. Letting go is when you choose yourself instead of accepting the fragments of affection. Letting go is when you tell yourself, I deserve more than this, and I will not imprison myself in a love that makes me small. Remember that true love does not bind you in hurt. If a man cannot cherish you, then your departure is not only a release for yourself, but also an opportunity to open the door for a healthier love to step in. Never mistake patience for unconditional sacrifice. Patience is when you give love time to grow, while letting go is when you know that love can no longer nourish your soul. The letting go test is a test of courage. It asks you, do you dare to choose yourself even when your heart still longs for him? Are you strong enough to walk away when respect is gone? If you pass, you not only win in love, you win over yourself. And then you will realize that a woman's true strength lies not in holding on to a man, but in the ability to let go when love is no longer worthy of her heart. Test 6. The self-worth test. When you know who you are. In all the tests that men set, consciously or unconsciously, the self-worth test is the most crucial route. Because if you don't truly know who you are and are not clearly aware of your value, you will easily fail every other test, from silence, pressure, and patience to respect and letting go. A woman, when entering a relationship, often begins with dreams, confidence, aspirations, and her own personality. But gradually, if she lets love become the sole center of her life, she will start to change. She sacrifices too much, gives up her dreams, lowers her standards, just to please the man. And at some point, when the relationship fractures, she not only loses the love, but also loses herself. That is the most painful price of not knowing your own self-worth. Conversely, a woman who knows her value is different. She knows love is important, but she is more important. She loves wholeheartedly, but she does not lose her identity. She can accompany the man, but she never lets love become the only reason for her existence. 2. Her love is a part, not the whole. Imagine yourself as a diamond. Whether someone looks at you or not, whether someone cherishes you or not, your true value never changes. A diamond does not lose its worth just because someone walks away. It simply becomes a treasure for someone discerning enough to recognize it. Similarly, your value does not depend on whether a man is by your side. It lies in how you perceive yourself, respect yourself, and cherish yourself. When a woman truly knows who she is, she no longer panics when a man is silent. She doesn't easily crumble under pressure. She's patient, but not blind. She demands respect and is ready to let go if love makes her small. In other words, when you know your value, You become invulnerable. No test can make you waver. But to achieve this, you need inner cultivation. You need to heal the old wounds that made you think you weren't enough. You need to dismantle the false belief that your worth depends on a man's validation. And most importantly, you need to learn to say to yourself, even when no one applauds, I applaud myself. Even if love leaves, I am still worthy of love, happiness, and peace. The self-worth test is not truly a man testing you. It's life asking you, do you really know how much you are worth? If you answer the T question with your actions, your way of life, and the confidence in your every step, then from that moment on, no one can shake you. And when you pass this test, you don't just win in love, you in your life. You live freely, steadily, and proudly like a queen, wearing her own crown. No bestowal needed from anyone else. Dear friends, after all the tests, silence, pressure, patience, respect, letting go, and self-worth, we can realize one important thing. Men may challenge you, but the final answer is always in your hands. You can choose panic or calm. You can choose to bend or hold your identity. You can choose to cling in hurt or bravely let go. And above all, you can choose to love yourself first, so that every love that comes after must be worthy. Don't forget, you are not the one begging for love. You are the prize. You are the diamond that not everyone is lucky enough to keep. And if someone doesn't see your value, that is their loss, never yours. Walk with your head held high. Keep that smile on your face and live your own life. A brilliant, free, and proud life. Because when you truly understand your self-worth, you will never fail any test. And remember, a strong woman is not one who keeps a man at all costs, but one who dares to say, with you, I am still me. Without you, I am still me, and I am always whole. If this message resonates with your heart, please share it with other women, so they too can reclaim their own crown. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video to spread the power of the feminine, the power of self-confidence, self-love, and a proud heart. See you in the next video.